Imagine holding a penny in your hand, a coin so ordinary that most people wouldn't give it a second glance. Yet this small piece of copper could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars today. That is the story of the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial 1-cent coin, a coin minted to honor the 2000th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, and one that has become a treasure in the world of numismatics. Collectors are constantly searching for this special penny, not only for its historical value but also because some rare variations have shocked the market with their extraordinary price tags. What makes this coin so fascinating is that it blends history, artistry, and rarity all in one tiny piece of metal that can change someone's life if discovered in the right condition. The year 2009 was monumental for coin collectors. To celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 2000th birthday, United States Mint decided to release 4 unique designs of the penny, each one representing a different stage in Lincoln's life. These designs were meant to highlight his journey from humble beginnings to becoming one of the most respected presidents in American history. The 4 reverse designs included his birth and early childhood in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and his presidency in Washington, D.C. For collectors, this marked the first time since 1959 that the penny's design was changed in such a significant way, making the 2009 issue highly desirable from the very beginning. While millions of these coins were struck for circulation, not all of them are equal. Certain versions' mint marks and errors make them incredibly rare and valuable today. For example, coins minted in Philadelphia and Denver often vary in quality, and those struck in San Francisco as proofs have an extra level of desirability. The most prized versions are those in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially those with sharp details and no blemishes. When preserved perfectly, some of these 2009 pennies can reach prices that defy imagination. Collectors are known to pay thousands of dollars for a single flawless coin, and in the right auction setting, the value can skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands, with some experts suggesting that the rarest finds could potentially touch the $1 million mark. But what truly drives this coin's extraordinary value is the story it tells. Abraham Lincoln, born in a one-room log cabin in Kentucky, rose from poverty to become one of the greatest leaders in history. The 2009 bicentennial coin was created not just as currency but as a tribute to his legacy and the values of determination, perseverance, and justice that he stood for. Each of the 4 designs gives a glimpse into that story: the log cabin of his childhood, his years of self-education, his career as a lawyer, and finally his presidency, which reshaped America. When collectors hold one of these coins, they are not just holding metal, they are holding a piece of American history and a symbol of Lincoln's enduring influence. Adding to their rarity are error coins that slipped through the minting process. Some 2009 pennies display doubled images, off-center strikes, or missing details that make them unique. Error coins are highly sought after because they are one-of-a-kind mistakes, and collectors are willing to pay a premium to own them. A regular penny may be worth only 1 cent, but an error 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cent could be worth thousands, depending on the flaw. This element of chance excites collectors and treasure hunters alike, as it means that anyone could potentially find a fortune hiding in their pocket change. Condition is another crucial factor in determining value. Coins that have never been circulated and remain in mint state condition are the most valuable. Grading agencies carefully examine these coins, rating them on scales that measure everything from shine to strike quality. A coin graded at the top of the scale can command incredible prices, sometimes exceeding 6 figures. Collectors dream of finding one of these untouched gems, as they represent the pinnacle of rarity and perfection. The 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny also stands out because it marks a turning point in U.S. coinage. Just a year later, in 2010, the reverse design permanently changed to the Union Shield, which is still in use today. This means the 2009 coins are the last to carry special historical imagery, making them an essential part of any serious collection. Their limited production run and unique role in history only amplify their importance and value over time. Stories circulate of everyday people who discovered rare 2009 pennies in their change jars, only to later realize they had stumbled upon a small fortune. It is this possibility that an ordinary coin could be worth a life-changing sum that keeps collectors and the public intrigued. The excitement is not just in the value but in the chase, the thrill of knowing that history might be hiding in plain sight. So next time you see a 2009 penny, don't ignore it. Look closer. That simple coin might not just represent 1 cent. It might hold a story of Abraham Lincoln's legacy, a reminder of America's journey, and possibly the key to a treasure worth thousands or even millions of dollars. The 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial 1-cent coin proves that even the smallest pieces of history can carry the greatest value, and sometimes the fortune of a lifetime is. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, something so ordinary that most people wouldn't even bother to pick it up from the ground. But what if I told you that this small piece of copper could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars to the right collector? That's the fascinating reality of the Lincoln 1981 1-cent coin, a coin that on the surface seems like nothing special, but hidden within its details and rare varieties, it can turn an everyday pocket change find into a life-changing discovery. Stay with me, because the story of the 1981 Lincoln penny is more than just about money. It's about history, rarity, and the chance that something extraordinary could be hiding right under your nose. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American history since 1909, when it was first issued to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin became iconic with its simple yet powerful profile of Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat ears on the reverse. By 1959, the wheat reverse was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design, and this design carried through 208. The 1981 penny sits right in this period, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and Lincoln's bust on the obverse. On the surface it looks like every other cent from the era, but coin collectors know that hidden within the details are variations and conditions that can make the difference between a coin worth a single cent and a coin worth thousands of dollars. The year 1981 is especially important in the history of the Lincoln cent because it marked one of the final years of the traditional copper-based composition. From 1909 until 1982, the penny was made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, with the rising cost of copper in the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint decided to transition to a primarily zinc-based composition, with a thin copper coating starting in 1982. This makes 1981 one of the last full copper years, which already gives the coin a special status among collectors. If you hold a 1981 penny in your hand, you are holding one of the last true copper cents minted for circulation. That small detail makes it more desirable than many of the coins that came after it. But not all 1981 pennies are created equal. The real treasure lies in the variations, mint errors, and condition of the coin. For example, there are 1981 pennies minted at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, which were struck with extra care and mirror-like finishes intended for collectors. These proof coins include two main varieties: 1981 Type 1 and Type 2. The difference between them lies in the style of the S mint mark. On the Type 1, the S is filled and less distinct, while on the Type 2 the S is clear and sharply defined. The Type 2 proof penny is especially rare and sought after by collectors, and finding one in pristine condition can mean big money. Mint errors add another fascinating layer to the story. Coins struck with off-center designs, double dies, clipped planchettes, or other striking mistakes are worth far more than their face value. In the case of the 1981 penny, double die obverse varieties, where the date or lettering appears double due to a misalignment during the minting process, are particularly valuable. Some of these can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the degree of doubling and the condition of the coin. Imagine checking your change and spotting that tiny error that transforms a penny into a collector's dream. Condition is everything in numismatics, the study and collection of coins. A 1981 penny in poor condition, heavily worn from circulation, may still only be worth face value. But in mint state condition, where the coin has never been circulated and still shines as it did the day it left the mint, values climb dramatically. A high-grade 1981 penny with perfect luster, sharp details, and no blemishes can sell for hundreds, and in the case of rare varieties like the 1981's Type 2 proof, the value can reach into the thousands. Some proof coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC at the highest level, Proof 70 Deep Cameo, have been auctioned for tens of thousands of dollars. And when you consider the rarity of perfect examples combined with collector demand, the right coin could one day even push into million-dollar territory. The allure of the 1981 penny isn't just its potential financial value. It's also about the thrill of the hunt. Millions of these coins were minted, and most are still out there hiding in jars, boxes, or tucked away in collections. The fact that ordinary people have found rare variations in everyday circulation fuels the excitement. You could walk into a store today, receive change, and unknowingly have one of these valuable coins in your pocket. That possibility keeps collectors constantly searching and examining coins under magnification, hoping to strike gold and copper. Another important detail about the 1981 penny is its place in American history. The early 1980s were a time of economic change, with inflation and rising commodity prices shaping government policy. The switch from copper to zinc pennies wasn't just a small change, it was symbolic of the economic realities of the time. Each 1981 penny represents the end of an era, a final chapter before the penny we know today. For collectors, history adds depth to the value of the coin. It isn't just a piece of metal but a snapshot of the time in which it was minted. Let's not forget the role of rarity in driving prices. While millions of 1981 pennies exist, the vast majority are common and only worth a cent. But rarity doesn't always mean how many were made. It means how many exist today in collectible condition or with unique traits. That's why proof varieties, mint errors, and pristine uncirculated coins can command massive premium. Collectors are willing to pay high prices because they know that owning one of these coins puts them in an exclusive group of people who possess something very few others have. Stories of people selling pennies for thousands of dollars are real, and they continue to inspire new collectors. A 1981's Type 2 proof penny in perfect grade has sold for over $10,000. Double die error pennies from the same year have sold for similar amounts, and with demand constantly rising for rare coins, the potential for prices to climb higher is always there. It's not far-fetched to imagine a record-breaking auction one day where a perfect example of a rare 1981 variety crosses into million-dollar territory. So the next time you see a penny lying on the ground, don't just walk past it. That simple coin could be a window into history, a rare variety waiting to be discovered, or even a fortune in disguise. The 1981 Lincoln penny teaches us that value isn't always it takes a keen eye, knowledge, and sometimes just a bit of luck to uncover the treasures hiding in plain sight. Collectors around the world know this, and that's why the hunt for these coins continues. The Lincoln cent remains one of the most collected coins in the world, and the 1981 penny is a perfect example of why. It's small, ordinary, and overlooked by most. Yet in the right condition or with the right variety, it has the power to change someone's life. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the change in your pocket, The story of the 1981 penny is proof that sometimes the most valuable things are hidden in the most unexpected places. And maybe, just maybe, the next time you pick up a penny, imagine picking up a penny from the ground. One that most people wouldn't even bend down to grab. A coin so common that it's often overlooked and forgotten. Now imagine that same penny transforming into a ticket worth millions of dollars. That's not just a dream. It's the story hidden behind some rare and extraordinary Lincoln coins, including the 1977 Lincoln penny. A coin that looks like any other, copper in color, light in weight, yet capable of changing someone's life forever. What makes it so special? What secrets does it hold? That's what we are going to uncover in this journey into the world of the 1977 Lincoln penny and its surprising potential value. The Lincoln penny has been one of the most recognized coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first coin in U.S. history to feature the portrait of a real person. Over the decades, the Lincoln Bicentennial has undergone subtle changes in composition, design, and minting, but the 1977 issue stands out as an important part of numismatic history. At first glance, the 1977 penny looks like any other coin minted during the 1970s. Copper in appearance, with Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, as with many coins, rarity, condition, and errors create the true value. In 1977, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at 3 primary facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint coins had no mint mark. Denver pennies carried a small D below the date. And San Francisco produced proof coins with an S mark. Tens of millions were struck at each mint, making them seem ordinary. But hidden among those millions are coins that stand out for unique reasons. Error coins, high-grade specimens, and proof versions in pristine condition can command values far beyond a single cent. Collectors are constantly searching for coins that appear flawless, graded at the top of the scale by organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or the Numismatic Guarantee Company (NGC). A 1977 Lincoln penny in mint state condition, with no scratches, marks, or discoloration, can already fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But when the coin also contains a rare minting error, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, the value skyrockets. This is where stories of pennies worth tens of thousands or even millions begin. One of the most sought-after types of errors in Lincoln pennies is the doubled die. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, creating a doubling effect on letters, numbers, or features of the design. For the 1977 penny, some collectors have discovered doubled die obverse examples, where Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions show subtle doubling. These varieties are incredibly rare, and when found in uncirculated condition, they can bring enormous value at auctions. Another fascinating aspect of the 1977 penny lies in its transitional history. Just a few years later, in 1982, the composition of the Lincoln cent changed from 95% copper to primarily zinc with a thin copper plating. That makes the 1977 coin one of the last pennies struck entirely in copper, weighing 3.111 grams. With rising copper prices, even the intrinsic metal value of older pennies has become a talking point. But it's the numismatic rarity that creates the life-changing worth. The fact that these coins represent the end of an era makes them highly desirable for collectors. Imagine finding a flawless 1977 penny in a roll of change, or tucked away in a jar in someone's drawer. It may seem unlikely, but such discoveries happen more often than people realize. Collectors and dealers often tell stories of individuals who unknowingly owned rare varieties, only to discover their true value years later. One coin graded MS-67 or MS-68 could leap in value, bringing thousands of dollars at a major coin auction. And when you add an error or a unique proof feature, the value could push even further into the tens or hundreds of thousands. Now let's dive into the real-life examples that make the 1977 Lincoln penny so legendary in the collector's world. Some proof coins minted in San Francisco with the S mint mark have been discovered with incredible clarity and mirror-like surfaces. These proof strikes, particularly those graded PR70 Deep Cameo, are virtually perfect and can demand astonishing prices. In the world of coin collecting, perfection is priceless. And the 1977 proof pennies embody that standard when they are preserved properly. In recent years, auctions have revealed just how high the value of the 1977 penny can climb. Coins in pristine condition have sold for thousands, shocking both the casual observer and even seasoned collectors. Stories circulate about lucky individuals who found these rare specimens in pocket change, coin rolls, or inherited collection. For them, what seemed like an ordinary penny turned into a life-changing discovery. The thrill of uncovering such hidden treasures is part of what keeps coin collecting alive and thriving. But it isn't just luck. Understanding what to look for is key. Collectors know to examine the date carefully for signs of doubling, to check for unusual mint marks, or to spot errors in the design. Off-center strikes, where the image of Lincoln is pushed to one side, can make the coin highly desirable. Coins with die cracks, cuds, or unusual metal compositions also stand out. Each error tells a story of minting mistakes, making them one-of-a-kind artifacts of history. What gives the 1977 penny its almost mythical reputation is the possibility of value beyond comprehension. While most examples will remain worth only a few cents, a handful could reach values that rival luxury cars, houses, or even millions. It all depends on the rarity, condition, and the demand from collectors willing to bid extraordinary amounts to secure one for their collection. This is why the 1977 penny has become part of the legend of valuable Lincoln cents. Consider the broader perspective. The Lincoln penny is more than just money. It is a piece of American history, carrying the face of one of the nation's greatest leaders. The 1977 penny in particular reflects a time before inflation, before composition changes, before the modern era of coins. It carries with it the weight of tradition, history, and artistry. For collectors, owning a rare and valuable penny is like holding a fragment of time itself. Something both ordinary and extraordinary. The idea that something as small and overlooked as a penny could hold life-changing wealth reminds us of a greater truth. Value is often hidden in plain sight. Most people pass by pennies without a thought. Yet within those tiny copper discs lie stories of history, mistakes, rarity, and treasure. The 1977 Lincoln penny is one such story. A coin that proves not all pennies are created equal. Some are merely currency, while others are treasures waiting to be discovered. So, next time you see a penny, don't dismiss it. Look closely. That 1977 coin in your hand could be more than just a cent. It could be the key to a fortune. Millions of dollars have been tied to rare pennies, and the 1977 issue continues to capture the imagination of collectors everywhere. It stands as proof that extraordinary value often comes from the most unexpected places. And who knows, the next legendary coin might just be sitting quietly in your pocket, waiting to be recognized for the hidden wealth it truly represents. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that looks ordinary, a coin you might toss into your pocket change without thinking twice. Now imagine that same coin being worth millions of dollars. It sounds impossible. But in the world of rare coins and numismatics, the 1984 Lincoln penny has shocked collectors and investors alike, with certain versions valued at life-changing amounts. What appears to be a simple copper-plated zinc coin from decades ago can actually be a treasure hiding in plain sight. This is not just a story about a penny. It's a story about history, mistakes, rarity, and the unbelievable wealth that can come from something most people ignore. The The 1984 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln Bicentennial series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1984, the penny had already undergone significant changes in design and composition. The original 1909 coins were made primarily of copper, but by 1982 the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition due to rising copper prices. That means the 1984 penny is a zinc coin with a thin copper coating, weighing just 2.5 grams. To the average eye, it looks like every other penny minted in the 1980s. But not all 1984 pennies are created equal. One of the most famous and valuable varieties of the 1984 Lincoln penny is the double die burse, often called the DDO. This error happened during the minting process when the coin's design was struck more than once, slightly off alignment, causing doubling on the obverse or front side of the coin. In the 1984 penny's case, this doubling can be seen most clearly on Lincoln's ear. Collectors refer to it as the double ear variety, and it has become legendary. What seems like a small mistake, the appearance of an extra ear, can make a penny worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Over the years, this doubling error has been one of the most sought-after finds in circulation. Some lucky individuals have discovered this variety in pocket change, pulled it from circulation rolls, or inherited it without realizing its worth. Auctions and coin shows have showcased examples of this variety selling for astronomical prices. And depending on condition, collectors are willing to pay anywhere from hundreds to tens of thousands of dollars for the right coin. In pristine, uncirculated condition, the 1984 double die penny has reached value so high that it has been compared to winning a lottery ticket. Imagine someone tossing this coin into a tip jar or losing it in a couch cushion, never realizing that they held a fortune in their hands. The value of these coins doesn't only come from rarity, it comes from demand. Numismatists or coin collectors are always searching for unique pieces that stand out in the massive history of U.S. currency. A typical 1984 penny might only be worth 1 cent. Maybe a few cents if someone wanted to collect a complete date set. But the error varieties are rare, which means fewer of them exist. As time passes, coins get lost, damaged, or destroyed, further reducing the supply. That scarcity drives up value, creating bidding wars among passionate collectors. Another aspect that makes the 1984 penny fascinating is the cultural significance of the Lincoln cent itself. Abraham Lincoln was the first real person to be featured on a U.S. coin, breaking the tradition of using symbols or allegorical figures. His image has endured for more than a century, and the penny remains one of the most iconic and widely recognized coins in American history. Every schoolchild has seen it, every cashier has handled it, and every person at some point has dropped one and not bothered to pick it up. And yet, hidden among the billions of pennies in circulation are rare pieces, like the 1984 double die that could change someone's life financially. That irony is what makes coin collecting such an addictive hobby for so many. For the collector, condition matters just as much as rarity. A 1984 double die penny in poor condition might still bring in a few $100s, but one in mint state, preserved with no wear, can fetch thousands. Professional coin grading services like PCGS and NGC assign grades that certify authenticity and condition, giving buyers confidence. These graded coins often set auction records, with the most pristine examples commanding incredible sums. In some cases, collectors and investors treat these coins like pieces of fine art or rare jewels, objects whose value only grows over time. There is also the speculative side of the coin market. Many investors look at coins like the 1984 double die penny, not just as collectibles but as assets. Unlike paper money, which can lose value due to inflation, rare coins tend to hold or increase in value as long as demand remains strong. This is why some call them pocket treasures or metal investment. The idea that a coin you could have spent at a vending machine might actually be worth millions adds mystery and allure to the field of numismatics. The excitement around the 1984 penny has also inspired countless treasure hunts. Every day people roll up their sleeves and sort through jars, drawers, and boxes of old change, hoping to stumble across one of these rare finds. Some have even built businesses around searching through bulk coins and reselling rare varieties online. Stories circulate of individuals cashing in huge amounts after finding a rare penny in circulation. The possibility keeps the dream alive that maybe, just maybe, the next penny you find in your pocket could change your life. And while the 1984 penny's most famous error is the double die obverse, there are other minor varieties and minting quirks from that year that collectors pay attention to. Coins with off-center strikes, unusual plating issues, or other anomalies can also bring premium. Though they may not reach the astronomical values of the double die, they still add to the intrigue surrounding this year's coinage. Every error tells a story about how coins are made and the human or mechanical mistakes that create these rare variations. It's worth noting that billions of 1984 pennies were minted, spread across the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The vast majority of these coins are still worth face value, but the fact that a few hidden gems are sprinkled among them is what sparks imagination. Just as with diamonds or gold, rarity determines value, and the double die penny is the diamond in the rough. It's the thrill of knowing that such treasures exist that keeps collectors scouring rolls and chains. When people hear that a penny could be worth millions, it often sounds like an exaggeration. Yet history shows that certain coins really do sell for jaw-dropping prices. From the 1943 copper penny that sold for over $1 million, to early 1909 Lincoln cents fetching tens of thousands, the precedent is there. The 1984 double die penny, especially in the highest grades, stands in that same league of legendary coin. It's a symbol of how something small and overlooked can hold massive value, both financially and historically. Think of it this way: a penny is supposed to be the least valuable coin in circulation. Yet in rare cases it becomes one of the most valuable. That irony resonates with people, turning the Lincoln cent into a cultural icon beyond its monetary function. For coin enthusiasts, the 1984 penny is a reminder that you don't need to be rich to find treasure. You just need knowledge, patience, and maybe a little luck. So the next time you get change at a store, don't dismiss those pennies. Look closely at the date, study Lincoln's features, and especially check the year. You might just be holding a piece of history worth more than your car, your house, or even your lifetime earning. The humble 1984 Lincoln penny proves that greatness doesn't always come in gold or silver. Sometimes it's hidden in copper and zinc, waiting to be discovered by someone who sees what others overlook. The story of the 1984 Lincoln coin isn't just about money. It's about curiosity, the thrill of discovery, and the strange beauty of human error. A tiny mistake at the U.S. Mint in 1984 created a ripple effect that still fascinates collectors today. And for those who dream of finding one, that little coin continues to inspire hope, excitement, and the belief that fortunes can still be found in the most ordinary places.